I'm Senator Bob Huff with my capital comment for the week of May 4th, 2015. The governor is expected to release his May budget revision on May 14th, and that's when the real work begins on crafting a new budget for the next fiscal year, which begins in July. The governor's January budget predicted that general fund revenues would be nearly $8 billion higher than last year thanks to an improving economy and increased tax revenues. As it turns out, the governor was wrong, actually in a good way. We're expected now to have $16 billion more than last year due to a surge in April tax revenues. So the big question facing the legislature this year, as opposed to the last decade, is not what programs to cut, but what should this new money be spent on? Thanks to constitutional guarantees, some of these questions have already been answered. Almost all the new revenue will go to education and the new Proposition 2 Rainy Day Fund, as it should. But the governor does have some plans for his new money. His January budget proposal contained a $900 million increase for pension contributions and raises for state employees. He also wants to spend another $1.4 billion on health and human service programs like welfare grants and in-home support services. And finally, the governor has another $165 million to corrections. There will likely be some more increases next week. Legislators also have their own wish lists. Assembly Democrats want to spend this extra money on schools, early education programs, and higher education. They also want to establish a state earned income tax credit to help reduce poverty, plus invest $2 billion to fix our roads, highways, and bridges. Well, actually, they've got a new tax to do that, so it wouldn't affect the $16 billion we're already talking about. These are noble goals. Senate Republicans actually agree with some of them. But Senate Republicans are hopeful the governor will save much of this windfall for future downturns in the state economy. Or if he does choose to spend the money, we believe it should be invested in one-time projects, not ongoing items that demand future funding. We must remember that what goes up must come down, and there will come a day in the not-too-distant future when the state needs extra money should, and frankly when, another recession hits. What do you think the governor and the legislature should do with this windfall? Spend it or save it? Feel free to write me an email or leave a comment on my Facebook page. Thanks for joining me. I'm Senator Bob Huff.